actually doesn't matter how good an organisation is. No one should walk in to the Prime Minister's office and leave with hundreds of millions of dollars they didn't even ask for. For 9 years, the previous government oversaw a broken, barely regulated national water market. The ACCC found that it was a market with no rules against insider trading, no requirements to keep proper records. This led to widespread distrust in the system. And as well as this distrust, there was wilful damage inflicted as well. From Tony Abbott to Scott Morrison, from Barnaby Joyce to Matt Canavan, the Liberals and Nationals came to power with a mission to put the environment last, to repeal climate legislation and to slash emissions reduction targets. They cut funding to the Environment Department by 40%. And they thought that was pretty clever until they saw what it did in practice. Without proper funding, environmental decision times exploded. According to a National Audit Office review in 2020, the average federal decision for a new project was 116 days behind schedule. And of these decisions, around 80% were either non-compliant or contained errors. The previous government's funding cuts held back business, they damaged the economy, and they undermined practical efforts to protect our environment. In 2018, the former government cut the highly protected areas of Commonwealth marine parks in half, removing the largest area from conservation in Australian history. The Liberals and Nationals spent less than $17 million of the $216 million they promised to upgrade Kakadu National Park's infrastructure. And in their final term, the Morrison government's relationship with the traditional owners of Kakadu broke down completely, to the point where a government review, co-chaired by Amanda Vanstone, called it, quote, deplorable and untenable. The previous government was told, loud and clear, that Australian environmental laws were not working, and they did nothing to fix that. Almost 2 years ago, the Morrison government received an official review into the Environmental Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act. It was written by Graham Samuel, and the message was as blunt as the State of the Environment report. To quote Professor Samuel, the EPBC Act is outdated and requires fundamental reform. The EPBC Act is ineffective. It does not enable the Commonwealth to effectively protect environmental matters that are important for the nation. It is not fit to address current or future environmental challenges.